Hey Stampin' friends, welcome to the Joy of Stamping with Rachel. I'm Rachael Coon and it's Fun Fold Friday. Today I'm using the Gather Together stamp set and I'm showing you a fun hangover card to make for this Thanksgiving. I'm going to hold while I flip and we'll get started. All right. So make sure you guys comment on today's live. You may get today's card that we're making just by saying hi or tell me something about this card that you like. First though, let me show you the card we're making. Looks like this, and it has this really fun hangover look to it because when I open it up there and I open it this way, it can fold inside as well. And you'll see why I call it the hangover in just a second. I do have two other cards with the same layout. This one was made by Margine, who is, I think, here today. Hey, Margine. And she made this one recently for a swap, and I loved it. And she even did the DSP right here and the embossed folder. And then in the inside of this one, she also has some stamped images and stuff as well. This one I made for a class with polishing. And this one is awesome too. It's for Christmas, and we did the poinsettia that's in that felt. And then we lift this one up, just the same. And then there's the inside as well. All right, hopefully you guys can see everything okay. Let me see if I can't get a little light turned on and see if it helps us a little bit, or if it's just, there we go. Hopefully that makes our lighting a little bit better today. All right, so I'm using the Gather Together stamp set. This one came out, I want to say a year ago, and it came back for this catalog. And it's so pretty, but I don't think nearly as many people are using it this year because there's lots of other fun things. So I want to make sure that we brought it out. And I'm using today the May This Season Bring You Smiles and Love that will last all year. And this fun little like wheat bundle right here. So those are the ones I use. I also use the dies that coordinate with the stamp set. They're called the Gathered Leaves dies. And this one, I've already cut out this shape of our leaf here, stamped it, then cut it with our Stampin' cut and emboss machine. And then you see these cool leaves right here, that these ones, you don't usually stamp first. You'll just cut these ones out and I'll leave that embossed look to it. They're pretty awesome. All right, let's go ahead and set this one aside, and I'll show you how to make this one. The measurements are very playful. You can change them up as needed. Those two samples I just showed you had this centerpiece a different length. So that just depends on your preference of where you want it to hang. Let's go ahead and do our stamping first. Actually, I lied. Let's go ahead and do our gluing first of the DSP on front, because I did go ahead and run it through my die cutting and embossing machine with that old world embossing folder, and it has this very crinkled look, which is really cool on DSP, but it makes it harder to glue down. So let me go ahead and put some glue first on this guy and give it a little bit of dry time while we're stamping. And that's just our regular 4 by 5 1/4, which is very typical for a card front of a DSP or a layer. Okay, let's see if we can't get that to go. I'm going to kind of lay it down that way and flip it over here while we get our stamping going. I'm using the Early Espresso for our first saying. And let me just ink that up. And you're going to put this just about the top middle, but not all the way to the top. Maybe just about there. And this Whisper White is the same size as our DSP, that 4 by 5 1/4. And then let's just get this little piece of bundle of wheat in the corner. And there's some other really great stamps in this one. You could have used these little pumpkins that have that kind of etched look to it. Even this little sprinkle spot you could have put in here. I do love the artist for this stamp set and how pretty all these images are. They're just so well done. Okay, we'll just put this one kind of in that corner. There we go. And then we'll set that aside. Hopefully our front is looking good. Now, do not glue this piece on yet. That's one of the last things we'll do. Let's go ahead and grab our DSP, which this is 3 by 5.5, scored at 1 inch. Like I said, this could be a different size. If you want it shorter, you can take off a good inch here. Just depends on how long you want it to hang. So what we're going to do is take our bone folder, and I'm going just to crease this score line right here. And then this side is where we're going to add our adhesive. And we're just going to do a little strip. Let me get that going, sorry. There we go. Of our seal. You could use liquid glue, but it'll just take a little bit longer to dry for that one. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this creased as well. There we go. And then what we're going to do, ready for the hangover part? I'm going to put this on the front of our card, and I'm not going to close it. I'm just going to keep it kind of open like this, and I'm going to line it up. Remember, I have adhesive on the back right there. I'm going to see if I can look like it's pretty centered on both sides of my DSP, and then I'm going to shut it, just like that. And that will pick it up on the back side here. Perfect. And by doing that hangover, it allows it to be in line, just the right spot, and it catches where we need it to catch too. Pretty clever, huh? All right, then we'll just go ahead and put this up. Don't worry about that score line at the top showing. On both the cards I saw so far had that score line showing, and it's just fine. Awesome. See, look into how we know it will close perfectly on it because it had that hangover. All right, lastly, we just need to embellish. We have our leaves ready to go. And for this first leaf, the center one we'll do with some dimensionals. And we're going to keep our dimensionals kind of in the middle. Avoid your edges. And you'll see why in just a second. Take off those backings. And just kind of eyeball it. That looks about right. And I've embossed and cut out a couple different leaves today to play with. I love the way that gold looks. It's so, so pretty. But I just kept it pretty basic in this one, so we might switch it up just a little bit. Now we want to take our glue dots, and we're going to attach those leaves behind it. And this is why we left our dimensionals in the center, so we have a little bit slide-in room. Let's go ahead and just put a glue dot on the bottom of this one, and we're going to sneak it in, just like that. And then press it down. Should I go all the way around with the leaves and kind of have more of a wreath look almost to it? Or should I just keep it with that basic 3 that we had? That looks pretty cool too. What do you guys think? Let's go crazy. Let's add the gold ones to it since we have them here. So let's go ahead and do our other side. We'll add that glue dot to the back and sneak it in. Just like that. And press down. And we can have it coming over on that DSP, and that looks really awesome too. Let's throw in another gold one right here. Just giving it all the leaves. Do you guys still have any leaves on your trees, or are they all gone? Oh, thanks you guys. I love seeing your comments on here. All right, so it's kind of crazy, but I really like it. Lots of leaves. And lastly, of course, we're going to use our linen thread bow and put that right there on that awesome leaf. All right, you guys, pretty easy and simple. There is our hangover card. Hope you guys had a great time learning this fun fold, and give it a try and change up those measurements however you need them. I'll have everything over on my blog in just a little bit. Make sure you comment if you want today's card. Happy stamping, everyone. Goodbye.